Hello, and thank you, Chair. I'm not going to take 10 minutes and I'm not going to read from a script because that would be a very long time for you to listen to all of that. But there are a few things that I do want to say. This is the first hustings post the ballot opening. It is an incredibly important one. So thank you, Cambridge, for hosting and for opening it up to some of our other higher education branches and for offering to make bits of it public. I think it is fair to say that our union is at a crossroads. And this General Secretary election represents an opportunity for you as members to have a say in the direction you want us to take at this crossroad. I'm standing for re-election, and I'm standing for re-election on a platform of a really clear set of policies and initiatives that I have pledged to enact if I get re-elected. Specifically, and this is the one I'm just going to talk about in this opening statement, I've written a comprehensive plan for higher education. And it is one that will take us away from this merry-go-round of balloting and action, but with limited results that we have been on. The plan, and you can see it on gradyforgs.com, it's up at the top in a tab with HE. It's actually a plan that I think is more closely aligned with the sort of the long-term focus and strategy that we've seen deployed right here at Cambridge in the Justice for College Supervisors campaign, and also in your historic recognition agreement, which congratulations, you know that you got recently. It is one that builds support and capacity. It is one that brings people along. It is one that gains momentum. It is one that engages with students. And it is one that crucially, when the threat of action is made, and we saw this with your college supervisors between July and October last year, management knows it will have an effect because it's supported by the majority of those that could participate in it. It's a plan that puts a say in the hands of more than just a small group of people. It's a plan that gives us time to get everybody on board, that doesn't leave anybody behind, that stops infighting. And I think crucially, it's a plan that's based on not just how we build internal support for something, but also external support. And that's from other unions, because we as UCU have been leading the charge, and particularly in the last 18 months, we're the ones that have been doing UK-wide ballots. We really need the other unions with us. And one of the things that I've been doing for the last 12 months is building those networks and support within those other unions to be with us in the future. I know that this hustings and lots of the other ones that we're going to do is about examining past track records. I think that is healthy. It means that all candidates, including me, we need to be questioned, we need to be challenged, we're justified, criticised, but also really given the opportunity to set out how we believe UCU should be led. And obviously part of what I want to do is talk about the future as well. Sometimes, and I've said this before, when you are General Secretary, whether it's for the unity of the union or to rightly support the kind of collective decisions that come out of our structures, your voice does become blurred. And for me, one of the reasons I think that this campaign is really well timed is that I get to set out exactly what I think we should be doing about a wide range of issues. And that hasn't necessarily been the case in the past few years, because our structures have devised a plan, and obviously part of the job of the General Secretary is to enact it. But I am being clear in this election. So if you haven't gone to my website, please do. I'm being really clear that what I'm offering is what members have actually been crying out for a long time, and that is a plan. So I'm saying vote for me, and you know what you're going to get. It's already been written. I put it out there at the beginning of December so that people could have a look. And I think, part of the reflections is what the last 4 to 5 years have been like as well. It has been tough. We've had, by any measure, perhaps the most right-wing government for decades. Anti-union employers that in higher education have acted with a level of discipline that has been astonishing. That's before we even get onto the fact that we had a global pandemic and an incredibly hostile media. And I'm not here today to say that the union got everything right. We haven't got everything right. And, you know, against the kind of backdrop that I've just outlined, nobody would. And no union that you could look at in the UK has come through this period unscathed. But there are a number of things that we have achieved during this period, and I think that they are worth noting. We have had a historic USS pensions victory, and I know that everybody in this room will have put in hours, if not months or years, into that dispute. We've had 2 national HE ballot victories. We have been building victory after victory in SE. We've won in prison education, a fiery high battle just recently before Christmas. We've won in adult education. We've massively increased the union's media profile. But more importantly, I think our wider movement standing has massively increased too. We've delivered a transformative equality agenda. The list goes on. But I guess I just want to sort of end really with our union, especially for me, it is the greatest force for good I've ever been involved in. Our reps change people's working lives frequently. And during this pandemic, you know, the union saved lives. We do face huge industrial challenges still. Pay, casualisation, workload, divisive attacks from the government, which are going to intensify as we get closer to this general election. And we can only face those attacks with a real sense of leadership and with a unified agenda as to what we stand for as a union. This weekend, you know, I'm talking about government attacks. I was at a national demonstration where, you know, all the unions in the UK had got together to protest against minimum service levels. The members I was speaking to, you know, they don't just need a strong UCU. They need us to be delivering. And as you know, we will be discussing in this hustings, that is true whether you're in adult education, prison education, higher education, or further education. So my manifesto, please do read it. It is a product of hundreds of conversations that I've had with people throughout, not just my tenure as GS, but beforehand, in workplaces, picket lines, conferences, online, political events. The other thing I think I want to say before we finish is union elections traditionally have low turnouts. The biggest of recent times was in UCU in 2019 when we had the last General Secretary election. So my firm appeal before I close up is vote for the person you want to be your General Secretary. Do use your vote. Speak to all of your friends and colleagues about using their vote. And please do visit gradyforgs.com. It's my campaign website, and it's entirely driven by incredible volunteers. So thank you, Chair, and let's have a great discussion and debate today.